No matter how you feel about the turbo-revving young punk, everyone can say he's a classic character. He is a classic, iconic Transformers character. And for me, I have always wanted a very, very good figure of Hot Rod, because he's one of my absolute favorite Autobots. I have come to terms with the fact that I am an Optimus Prime fanboy. He's my favorite Autobot. I have accepted this. For years, I was like, I can't have my favorite be Optimus Prime. No, he's my favorite. I'm sorry, he is. I have over 100 Optimus Prime toys, okay? But Hot Rod is probably my second favorite. I love him. He's great. I personally really like him as a character, and I'm very happy that we finally have what is essentially the perfect Hot Rod. But it wasn't perfect at the start. When we first got our initial remake Hot Rod, it was this one, the Classics Hot Rod. I say Classics because this is technically the Reveal the Shield redeco, so unfortunately I can't compare the original Classics with like the gold deco to the new one. So the decos are kind of going to match up a little bit more because both of them are going for a more, movie accurate color scheme. But it's crazy how far we've gone. There's about 15 years separating these two figures, and about like $20 difference, which is also crazy. But keep in mind, he was sold as just a basic deluxe, and he was sold as a Voyager because he comes with a lot of accessories, and they added a lot of, premium engineering. They essentially made him a mini masterpiece. And I am going to stick by that statement. But, as you can see, seeing them stand side by side. I don't know what to say. The old one it's a Hot Rod, and the new one is Hot Rod. Like, look at the backpacks even. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? They kind of essentially do the same thing too, but just look at how crazy different that is. Like, even from the back, the Studio Series one looks perfect. I'm just gonna say it. Like, there really isn't anything else that can really be done to make the Studio Series much better. But the old one was a figure that existed. Let's talk about him. So, I'm just gonna level with you guys. I've never been the biggest fan of this figure. I've never been the biggest fan. I felt like I was settling. When I got this guy as my first Hot Rod figure, when I started collecting Transformers, I think I got this guy at TJ. No, I was thinking it was another 2-pack. I got this as a gift. Like Cyclonus. It came in the 2-pack. But yeah, I got this back when I started collecting in 2012. And it's a figure. I mean, it's from 2006, the original mold. Does the rub sign still work? Yes, a little bit. But yeah, you can tell. Oh, you can just tell, man. So he comes with a gun, which isn't bad, but it has a opaque blue effect part, and also I don't think it works anymore. Oh, it kind of does. So yeah, I throw that off to the side. I'm sorry, I do. It's just, I'll show it again later, but what I typically do, I don't even have him with this gun. I seriously just keep it on his back, because number one, that's where it stays for vehicle mode. Number two, it's kind of like a jetpack. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, for other accessories, he does kind of have the saw in his arm, which is cool. It's all painted gray, which is disgusting. But he can just like flip out the saw and flip in the hand. And you do have that. It's very tiny, but you do have it. So that's actually a really cool little feature. Let's just face it, he looks really awkward. His face looks really odd to me. I've never liked it. He's got like this weird, like defined chin jaw. He looks like Cheetor. He's got a face like Cheetor, dude. He's just a little weird to me. His face is a little weird. Doesn't look like turbo revving young punk to me at all. Looks like Cheetor. The gray paint used on this version, I'm not going to touch on too much because it was silver in the Classics one. But I'm not the biggest fan of this particular gray paint. His legs are very awkward and chunky, and we'll talk about those. He's got a big backpack that will just swivel everywhere. I mean, he's not bad. He's a figure that's not bad. You do have to like flip out these kibble pieces on his legs for him to have any knee range, which looks kind of gross, but I'm sorry. Yeah, he's got ball joints at his shoulders, which does give you like a bit of a butterfly, which is cool. I guess we're talking about articulation now. He has a swivel at the head, like ball joints at the shoulders, which you're already getting a pretty good look at how they work. No sideways elbows, just this very basic elbow bend. He's like a Combiner Wars Constructicon. He just started doing that. Me trying to hold him, by the way. His legs only move up that far. I feel like he's gonna break if I do it anymore. Then you gotta move the knees, and then he's got this other joint, and then he's so awkward. He's so old and awkward. But you know, let's face it, they could have done a lot better even back then. I'm just gonna say it, they could have. But it is what it is, and it's not the worst figure ever. But it's definitely not the best, because this one is the best. This is Studio Series Hot Rod. Let me introduce you to the best boy. So he comes with 2 guns, and he has effect parts on both of them. So you can take those effect parts off, and he's got both of his guns, which is really cool. I love that. You can take them out of his hands, and you can put these effect parts also on his exhausts, like he's got that going on. And they even kind of sculpted it where it looks like it's coming out of all 3, which is awesome. So yeah, I actually display them like this a lot because I think that's really cool. So you have those effect parts, and then you can flip in his hand, which I always forget the technicality of how to do this. You like do what hinges? I don't remember. I don't remember what hinges. There we go. That hinges. Yeah, you flip the hand in, and then you can like give him his buzzsaw, which is awesome, which is like a full accessory piece now. So you can have him do that. And look at that. That looks really cool. It's like a pizza cutter. So you have that, and then his other hand does the same thing, but you don't have to plug anything in because he has his little like welding tool. I think that's what it was. It's been so long since I've seen the movie. I got to rewatch it, especially after getting all these Studio Series 86 figures. Oh my gosh, look at that. He can do that. And then let's fix that up because he also has, of course, because he's Hot Rod, he's got the Matrix of Leadership. You cannot put it in the chest because Rodimus Prime does that. But Hot Rod, you can have him hold it. You actually do have finger articulation because of the premiumness of charging the Voyager price instead of the Deluxe. And I'm really happy they're doing that. They're not strict, they're not like keeping the Voyager and Deluxe and all that price points just by the size. They're also doing it like the quality and the density of the product you get. And honestly, for how deluxe this is, you know, for lack of a better word, I think making it Voyager was very well deserved. So you can have him hold the Matrix. You can have him hold it up too if you want. But you do have an effect part for the Matrix to make it glow, which is amazing. You just kind of clip that over it. And then, boom, there you go. You got your Matrix glowing because it has chosen its new prime. Look at that display, man. This is how he will be displayed, by the way. This is how he'll be displayed, without a doubt. I'll just keep all of his other accessories like off in the back of the shelf so I can access them easy because I want to be messing with this guy a lot because he's great and fun. Another feature he has, you can flip up his scalp and you can flip down his visor. He's got his visor, dude. They gave him his visor. Oh my gosh. Oh man. This thing is so amazing. I love it. So his articulation is a ball joint at the head, as well as like a hinge too. So you can get some up, you can get some down, I say in opposite orders, side to side, a little bit of tilt. His shoulders are one of the only points of contention I have, just because they're a little awkward. You do have a butterfly too. You got a little bit of a butterfly, but they can move up that far. They can move forward. They're just kind of a little awkward. You can see how they kind of shift a little bit. That's like that is seriously my only issue with the figure pretty much. You do have elbows, which are actually bending pretty deep. And you have elbow swivels. You have wrist swivels and opening fingers. You have a waist swivel. You do have legs that move all the way up. Thigh swivel. You have double jointed knees. Double jointed knees. And he can kneel, by the way. He can very easily kneel. Like, so easy. This is probably one of the most articulated Transformers I have. You can move his ankles up and down, and you can tilt him pretty deep, too. So yeah, his robot mode is pretty much perfect. I really have no complaints. I really seriously don't. Like, this thing is too good. It is actually too good. I don't know what to say. I really don't. So, let's go back and transform the old one. So, how he works, you straighten the arms, flip in the hands. Man, this thing's gonna be, it's gonna be an endeavor. It's pretty easy, though. Like, you can see how kind of easy it is. You just kind of do stuff and flip things, and it just kind of happens. Kind of shift the legs awkwardly like that. And then, oh yeah, you flip up that, and then you get that. And then, oh, that's got to be aligned. And then those always pop off, especially when you're sliding those out. Like, they will pop off, guaranteed. Then you get those. And what you're kind of left with at the end is a pretty nice, solid vehicle mode. And you can see the transformation's really fast. It doesn't really take too long at all. And the vehicle mode is a really solid vehicle, I'm not going to lie. Then the finishing touches is flipping those panels. And then there you go. It's a really, really solid car. Like, it's super solid. And it looks the part. It definitely looks the part. And awesomely, you still have that exhaust port, and you can still put this missile in. And it definitely... does it not stay in anymore? There we go. It can be the flame coming out, so that's cool. Definitely not a bad car. I'm not going to judge the colors because it's just this particular repaint. I'm personally not a fan of the bright blue windshield. But still, it's not a bad car, man. It's really not. I feel like they kind of designed the car and the transformation over the robot because that's kind of fun. I kind of like that. And then this guy, his transformation is definitely more complex, for sure. I've only done it once. So forgive me if I'm not the best. Forgive me if I end up messing things up. I'm not going to try to walk you through it, because this is not a review, it's a retrospective. So I do like doing this, because a lot of the things reviews do is that they show you how to do it. But one thing that you kind of don't get an idea of is how easy is it to remember. Like, you saw how automatic that was. And I just got this new one. I'm trying to think about, like, how does this one go? And I really love how the legs kind of open up like that. That's so cool. I'm trying to figure it out. I think definitely that goes like that. And then it's so fun to just figure this stuff out. You know, it kind of ruins the fun if you just already know. I don't know. It's just my weird philosophy with Transformers. Like, a part of the toy is the puzzle. And, oh my gosh, I love how that comes together. I really do. And then, I'm trying to think of that. I think that just, like, stays up there, I think? Yeah. I mean, you can see it's definitely kind of imploded right now. But it's not too bad. It's still a coherent looking thing. Then the head, like, flips all the way in, right? Then it just kind of... Then you get the legs flipped. And then you flip the feet in. Oh, you gotta flip the waist, too. There's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. And I'm definitely not doing it in any particular order whatsoever. In fact, one may say I'm doing it totally out of all of the orders. But it's fun to just kind of see how easy it is to just figure out the transformation. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Something's kind of poppy, though. I don't know why. Maybe it'll kind of come together more at the end. But yeah, we're pretty much almost there. You can definitely tell it's more difficult on this one. It's not as, you know, super easy and just boom, there you go, you're done. But it's not the worst. It's really not the worst. It's honestly not bad at all. Especially since I totally winged it and I've only done it one other time. But it might not be tabbed in fully either. You can definitely see they make them more complex these days, but it makes for a much better figure. So that's pretty much it. Oh, I missed that entirely, didn't I? Jeez, how does that... Oh, no. I'm like, wait, what's going on with the front? Oh, no. What did I do? What did I do? Oh. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. At least that's nice to do at the end. I'm like, wait, what is going on with that front? That is not okay. So there we go. There is the space sports car mode for the Studio Series, and it's very flat. It's very flat, and that is a good thing, because it's supposed to be a flat kind of car. It looks great. It looks better than the old one, I'd say. Man, I got nothing. I got nothing. It looks great. And you can still use these. It is particularly sculpted in a way so they'll even work with these back ones. Kind of got to get it. Geez, how do you do it? Oh yeah, there's like a different hole right there. You have to plug it in like that. So yeah, they did sculpt them so they also work with these. So you can still give them that, which is awesome. No real weapon storage I'm really seeing. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know what you'd really do. I mean, who really wants to do that ever? It looks ugly. I mean, I guess you can do that. I guess you can do that. You can just kind of stick those up there, but ew. So yeah, there is old versus new for Hot Rod. Definitely, when it comes to the robot modes, no contest. This one is the definite winner. When it comes to the transformations, this one is a lot smoother and quicker. That's because it's just a way more simple figure. This one is still, for how ham-handed I am and how like blah, 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 it still came together all nice and solid. There's no real issues with tabbing and anything. Well, it might be, nah, it's all good. So all you can see, might want to flip his head around. It might want to flip his head around when you transform him, because otherwise you got visible head right there. So, you know, keep that in mind. But car mode too. Let's see how they roll. Ooh, new one's got some competition. That rolls very nice. So does the new one. Kind of got to make sure everything's flat, but oh my gosh. It's very rare that a new Transformer rolls that nicely. So yeah, I'm definite winner. I mean, no freaking contest. Come on. The Studio Series is perfection. I think Emgo said he actually prefers it over the newer Masterpiece figure. And honestly, as a big Hot Rod fan, I didn't even get the new Masterpiece. It just didn't do it for me. But this new one, definite. Like, I think this is the best Hot Rod that's been officially produced. Because I don't really, do much for third party. Definitely go out, get the Studio Series Hot Rod. It is the Hot Rod to have. It is the definitive quintessential Hot Rod. I don't think there's, like, I love the Animated Deluxe, but this Studio Series, oh my goodness. It is on a different level, especially with all the accessories, all the features, the transformation, the robot mode. Gotta get it. Gotta get it. It's like Cyclonus. It's basically a masterpiece. And there we go, guys. There's my comparison. My old versus new of Classics versus Studio Series Hot Rod. It's been a fun one. I'll see you guys. Bye.